There's a number that every backyard tool manufacturer knows and never publishes. It's the number of hours their product will actually last before it costs more to repair than to replace. And the gap between that number and what you think you're buying is exactly where they make their money. In this video, we're going through 9 backyard tools that homeowners spend real money on every single year. Money they will never get back. Not because the tools are cheap. Some of these run $400, $600, even $4,000. But because what they promise and what they deliver are two completely different things. If you've bought one of these, this is going to hurt. If you haven't, this video just saved you a serious mistake. Number 9. Solar-powered landscape lighting kits. Walk into any home improvement store and the solar path light display looks convincing. Brushed stainless finish, warm amber glow in the demo reel, and a price tag that runs anywhere from $80 to $250 for a set of 8 to 12 lights. The pitch is always the same. No wiring, no electricity bill, just set them and forget them. Here's what the packaging doesn't say. The battery inside most solar landscape lights is a single AA or AAA NiMH cell with a capacity of 600 to 1200 milliamp hours. That battery charges off a panel roughly the size of a drink coaster. In the summer, in direct sun, that gives you maybe 4 to 6 hours of usable light at about 40 lumens. That's the brightness of a very tired candle. By October, when the sun angle drops and the days shorten, you're getting 2 hours on a clear day and nothing on a cloudy one. The battery degrades after 1 to 2 seasons. By year 2, most sets are running at 30% capacity, and the batteries are proprietary, not the kind you pull from a dollar store. The whole set goes in the trash. For $250, you bought seasonal decorations that stop working the moment you actually need them in the dark months of winter. A low-voltage hardwired landscape kit from a brand like Kichler or Volt runs $350 to $500 installed and will outlast 3 generations of solar sets. Number 8. Battery-powered pressure washers under $300. The cordless pressure washer market exploded in the last 4 years. Ryobi, Sunjoe, Works. Every tool brand launched one, and the marketing is aggressive. Cordless, portable, no hose reel, powerful enough for your deck, your driveway, your car. The problem is physics. A real pressure washer, one capable of cleaning a wood deck or stripping moss from concrete, needs at minimum 1,200 psi of consistent pressure. To sustain that pressure cordlessly, you need a pump motor that draws more power than any 18 or 24-volt battery platform can deliver without burning out in under 30 minutes of continuous use. The entry-level cordless units that sell for $120 to $290 top out at 300 to 700 psi in real-world testing, not the peak numbers on the box. They're fine for rinsing garden furniture. They are not pressure washers in any professional sense. You will not clean a fence, a concrete driveway, or a cedar deck with one of these. And because the battery is doing double duty, powering both the motor and the pump, runtime is 15 to 25 minutes before you're back on the charger. An electric corded pressure washer from Sunjoe or Simpson starts at $90 to $140 and will outperform every cordless model under $300. The cord is the trade-off. The cleaning is not. Number 7. 4-in-1 combo tools. Blower, vacuum, mulcher, and trimmer. They are sold as the solution to owning 4 separate tools. 1 machine, 4 functions, 1 price, usually $120 to $250. Ryobi, Black & Decker, and Works all make versions of this. On paper, it looks like the smartest purchase in the yard tool aisle. In practice, the math falls apart fast. To do 4 jobs with 1 tool, engineers have to compromise on every single one. The mulcher conversion requires reversing the airflow direction through the same impeller that blows, and the result is a mulching ratio. How many bags of leaves the machine compresses into one? That runs about 8 to 1 on a good day, against the 16 to 1 you get from a dedicated mulcher. The vacuum function clogs constantly with wet leaves. The trimmer head, if included, runs on a different attachment system that adds $40 to the base price and uses thinner gauge line than a dedicated trimmer. Every reviewer who has pushed this category, Slash Gear, This Old House, Bob Vila, lands in the same place. Buy a dedicated blower and a dedicated trimmer. You'll spend slightly more and use both for a decade. The combo sits in your garage collecting guilt. Number 6. Smart irrigation controllers over $250. The promise here is real and the technology works. A weather-based smart irrigation controller reads local conditions and adjusts your watering schedule automatically. That is legitimately useful and can save real money on water bills. The problem is not the concept. The problem is the price tier above $250, where you're buying app features, compatibility badges, and subscription services that the $50 to $120 Ratio or Orbit Beehive handle just as competently. The premium brands in this category, Rainbird's top-tier smart units, HydroWise, Hunter, are designed for commercial properties with 12 or more zones. The average suburban homeowner has 4 to 8 zones and a half-acre lot. You do not need a controller with predictive storm skip, soil type calibration, and a monthly data subscription to water your lawn. The core scheduling algorithm is the same across the category. You are paying for a more expensive app. Buy the mid-tier. The grass cannot tell the difference. Number 5. Standalone electric log splitters under $400. A log splitter needs one thing above everything else: tonnage. The force the machine applies to wood is measured in tons, and the minimum for splitting seasoned hardwood, oak, hickory, ash, is around 7 to 8 tons. The entry-level electric standalone units that market to homeowners in the $250 to $390 range deliver 5 tons on a warm day. That's enough for dry pine and soft maple. The moment you feed one of these a knotted oak round or a piece of elm, which has interlocking grain that resists splitting by design, the machine bogs, the piston stalls, and you start smelling the motor. Ratings on these units average 3.4 stars across major retailers, and the 1-star reviews tell the same story. Works great until the hydraulic ram starts leaking around the seal by the second season. A 7-ton or 10-ton electric unit from Champion or Boss Industrial starts at $420 to $500 and is a completely different machine. If you heat your home with wood or split more than 2 cords a year, the price difference pays for itself in the first season. If you split once a year after a storm drops a tree, rent one from Home Depot for $65 a day. Number 4. Cordless electric chainsaws under $200. This is where the marketing gap between perception and reality does the most damage, because chainsaw failure is not an inconvenience, it is a safety issue. The sub-$200 cordless chainsaw market is packed with 18-volt and 20-volt units that advertise bar lengths of 10 to 14 inches and claim to handle firewood cutting and limb removal. What they actually deliver is adequate performance for cutting green wood under 4 inches in diameter, with a battery that lasts 20 to 40 cuts on a full charge before voltage drop kills the chain speed. Chain speed is everything with a chainsaw. When the chain slows, it doesn't cut cleanly. It catches, binds, and kicks back. The kickback risk on an underpowered cordless unit that is starving for voltage is not theoretical. The 40-volt and 80-volt platforms from Greenworks, Ego, and Makita are the floor for any chainsaw work beyond pruning. The Ego CS1804 and the Greenworks 80-volt both run $350 to $500, and professional arborists have started using them as backup saws. Everything below $200 in this category is a pruning tool wearing a chainsaw's clothes. Number 3. Robotic lawnmowers under $1,500. The robotic mower concept is legitimate. At $2,500 and above, the Husqvarna Automower 400 series, the MaMotion Luba 2, you get perimeter wire-free navigation, slope handling up to 45 degrees, rain sensors, and app control that actually works. At $800 to $1,400, you get a machine that requires you to spend a full weekend burying boundary wire around every inch of your property, struggles on anything above 20 degrees of slope, stalls in wet grass, and needs the charging station wired into a GFCI outlet on a dedicated circuit. The install cost alone, if you hire it out, runs $250 to $400 on top of the unit price. And then the blade cartridges, which are proprietary, run $30 to $60 every 60 to 90 days. One homeowner on the lawn, Care Forums, put it plainly after his first full season. He calculated the install, the blades, and the 2 service calls, and landed at $2,100, all in on a $900 mower. He bought a used walk behind the following spring. If you want a robot mower, buy at the level where the technology actually works, or don't buy at all. Number 2. Decorative outdoor pizza ovens under $500. The outdoor pizza oven category has had its moment, and it has produced two very different products sold at the same price points. The genuine article, an Unikaru or Gosni Dome at $350 to $800, reaches 900 degrees Fahrenheit in 20 minutes and cooks a Neapolitan pizza in 60 to 90 seconds. That is a real tool that produces a real result no conventional oven can match. The imposters in this category are the cast-look aluminum shell ovens with the word pizza on the box, sold at stores like Costco and Sam's Club for $150 to $290. They run gas burners under a dome that tops out at 550 to 650 degrees on a hot day. At those temperatures, your pizza takes 6 to 8 minutes and comes out with a pale crust and an uneven char, which is exactly what you get from your kitchen oven on the broil setting. You bought a prop. It takes up 40% of your patio table. It will live in a garage within 3 seasons. In this category, the cheap option is the rip-off, and the expensive one is genuinely worth it. Number 1. Any battery-powered lawn tool sold exclusively as a kit with a proprietary battery platform. This is the one that costs the most money over time, and it's intentional. Every major brand, Ryobi, Ego, Greenworks, Cobalt, sells entry-level tools at attractive prices with the battery and charger included. $40 for the trimmer when you buy the kit. $60 standalone. The trap is that the battery is proprietary. It only works within that brand's ecosystem. And the ecosystem is designed to expand. First it's the trimmer, then the blower, then the mower, then the chainsaw, then the pressure washer. By the time you own 5 tools on that platform, you have $250 to $400 locked into a battery system that the manufacturer can discontinue, downgrade, or quietly stop supporting at any point. Ryobi's 18-volt ONE+ platform is the most stable in the consumer space, but even Ryobi has retired battery generations before. Ego discontinued compatibility between their first and second generation 56-volt batteries, meaning every tool bought on the original platform became a stranded asset the moment the replacement battery cost more than the tool was worth. Before you buy into any battery ecosystem, check how old the platform is, whether the brand has ever changed battery formats, and what the replacement battery costs at full retail. That number is the real price of every tool in the system. Here's the math no one is running for you. A $250 solar light kit that fails in 2 seasons costs $125 per year. 4 replacement batteries and a $15 wired path light cost you nothing after year 1. A $900 entry-level robot mower with $400 in install costs and $60 every 2 months in blades runs you $1,800 in the first year. A $30 monthly lawn service handles the same square footage and you own 0 parts. Every one of these tools has a version of this calculation hiding behind the marketing. The question to ask before any backyard purchase over $150 is not what does it cost, it's what does it cost per hour of useful life, and what am I giving up in installation, maintenance, and consumables to own it? Buy smart. The garage is already full of proof of what happens when you don't. If this list saved you from making one of these mistakes, hit subscribe. I've got more buyer guides like this dropping every week. See you on the next one.